Heyo, my Planet Coaster friends, Johnny5 Alive here, and welcome back to another episode of Park Spotlight. Today I'm joined with Synchros.
Heyo!
And Zalexor.
Hey.
And we have a massive park full of coasters to check out, so be sure to tune into this one, and stay tuned and let's check them out.
Leave a like, subscribe, Patreon, down description below. Let's go. Here's a park. It's made by someone. Looks great.
So we're looking at Kestrel Park, created by NeonFeather, one of our Discord advanced builders. And here they say, heyo, Channel 5 gang, NeonFeather here, and I'm proud to present to you my passion project since I bought the game. The Kestrel Park features all custom coasters and an endless hours of revision of fine duty. I must also say that many of the buildings throughout the park are blueprints from the workshop, and some of the flat rides is blueprints as well. With that being said, links are and credits are to the creators of the flat rides listed in the park in the Steam description. The park lineup in this park features impressive custom layouts and even 2 recreations of coasters in Dollywood theme park in Tennessee, which is my home park. Also are some hidden gems in that park, in the park, I hope you don't miss, which are the Mirage Transport, the Cyber Sector hidden near RURSUS, and the Fast Pass line in the Flight of Kestrel. Anyways, please enjoy the park and let me know which coaster is your favorite. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are at the park entrance. This one, you're gonna have to bear with us today, is heavier than freaking Candyland was.
Yeah, it looks pretty heavy.
Oh my goodness. And there are no guests. There are 12 guests. 12 lucky guests get to come in here today. But holy moly, this is insanely heavy. There's coasters everywhere. Holy moly.
I love those buildings in the distance. Like the big
So
ones.
yeah, they said that a lot of this was from the workshop. It's good that they credited Steam.
The music's perfect. Flight Kestrel. Ah! So that is definitely going to be our first coaster of the day. And here's the queue. Let's take the Fast Pass.
Yeah.
Looks like they're both themed differently, which is
This
neat.
is cool.
So laggy. Bear with us today. I think it's going to be worth it. I mean,
I think so too.
I hope so.
what else can you do though, right? You want to build
Yeah.
for 3 years
No.
in an unstable engine? That's what you get. Okay, here we go. The first coaster of the day, Flight of the Kestrel. And it is a prototyped wing Tiamat. Here's a look at the stats if you want to see them. Great across the board.
train
Holy
swap?
track like that, this is insane.
Oh my god. 3 kilometers. It looks like a train swap on this one too.
Get your popcorn. We're going to be on this coaster for a while. Let's
Yeah,
go.
we are.
was insane.
It was. Yeah, it was
Wow. That track layout was amazing, and it just was never ending too. The whole way through it was amazing. I actually thought the ride was over when we went into this station, and it's like that's not a station; it's just a second lift. It's like what's
It's
happening?
almost like a weird kind of break run.
And I love the way it comes up into it like that.
Yeah.
But look at that whole thing.
It's a
like
ride.
There's a flat ride in it and everything. Crazy. It's like Final Fantasy. Weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Definitely has a
really
Final
cool.
Fantasy feel. Yeah.
Cool.
Wow. That was epic, man. And
That kinda looks like
I
the
was
main
like
coaster of
laughing
this
so
park.
hard going up this lift. He's like turned the supports into like big cedars.
Yeah.
It's like what the heck is this? Oh,
Hey, it works.
it does. It's
Adds
different.
a little more to it.
We've never seen that before.
I think those are custom supports still.
Yeah.
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 I mean the little nub. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely are. Holy moly. So it's just going to be one coaster after the other. As you can see, there's like 3 more to ride
Yeah.
right here.
And you know what? You know, we're talking about the blueprints from the workshop, but basically all the coasters are made by,
Him.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
they,
it's just a few blueprints and a water show and, yeah, a few flat rides, but the rest, he all made it.
right,
so-
right. Oh, that's a chairlift?
Oh, yeah.
There's like one queue connecting to another? What's happening here? Food court? What? What is happening?
I think there it is.
Back here.
Yeah.
Ah, there.
Okay, so let's try to do this proper.
Oh,
So-
so it is real.
Yeah.
It's even worse on screen share, like getting motion sickness.
Oh, dude, it's terrible. I haven't seen a park this laggy since like Candyland.
MKP wasn't even like this.
No,
It's
he's
8
really
FPS.
he's really
Yeah.
efficient. I mean, it goes up and down at some points, and once you're on the coaster, it's like kind of I don't know how it works, but it seems to somehow even out. I don't know.
It's a kiddie coaster. Okay.
Okay, so that brings us to the Garden Guardian, everyone, which is a junior dragon. Here's a look at the stats if you want to see it, and let's hop on board. We're gonna do track view so we don't have this big head in our way. We don't have any guests in the park, so we can't go at the back. So here we go. Definitely one of the best PowerPoint presentations I've ever seen.
Intense kiddie
No,
coaster.
that was a pretty epic kiddie coaster.
Yeah,
The track, again, an amazing track layout on this one as well.
I
Quite the
think the
duration on it.
custom supports is really what is doing this park in, like, FPS.
Oh, for sure.
wise.
Possibly. It might have something to do with the 47 coasters, but
Yeah.
All of
All those with us.
Custom support.
Yeah.
Well, it was a great ride. Yeah.
Definitely. What is this? What?
Oh, is that
Is that
custom?
all?
That it looks custom, doesn't it?
What?
Am I crazy? Is that how it always looked like? So we all felt that way, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look normal.
Oh, the lights. What?
I'm confused. It looks different.
It does look different.
Maybe it's just the colors.
And how does it spin on that?
It doesn't. I don't know. I'm just gonna pretend that didn't happen. But moving on. Little fantasy area. Ooh.
I like that with the
Genie? I think
Genie?
that is
Yeah,
a
in a
stolen
way.
bluept, but that is the best way to do that.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a
wait,
really
we can
cool
check
ride
that.
skin.
What?
It's
No, I'm pretty sure I've seen that on the workshop.
Augie.
Augie!
Oh!
And he did a poo
I
version.
think. Let me see. Oh no, it's not. Sorry.
Sorry.
That yellow one.
Look at that. That is incredible.
No, it's made by. Oh, it is made by Augie. Yeah.
Okay, and he did do a poo version.
The
He did a-
surfing, and then Pooh Mountain, and the surfing treasure.
Augie's the best. How do we get to this coaster? Oh, there.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Kaleidoscope Piers. That's from Swiss. That's one of the parts.
yeah.
It is, I think.
That's actually going to be one of the ones we're going to record in the next coming weeks here. Kaleidoscope Piers, so stay tuned for that, everybody. Swiss is an amazing creator as well.
Very good, yeah.
Okay. And our next coaster of the day, ladies and gentlemen, the Needle Tail. And it is a launched vector, green across the board. There's a look at the stats if you want to see them. And let's give this a go. These coastal layouts are insane, dude.
That one was a lot of fun.
I kind of got to go on a little side tangent here because these coasters are so great, but they're so hard to appreciate in this frame rate, you know? And in order to fix your problem, Synchros, you recently featured a park, was it Krumdorf? And it had like 1,000 coasters in there. And we've seen it with Coaster Mountain, and I've seen people say in the comments that they love it when there's these parks that have, you know, a dozen coasters, but jam-packed into one area. So they're all interacting with each other. And that is a great way to reduce your frame count, because like all this, like spreading it all out, like all these blueprints and stuff is what's really chopping down your frame rate. You know, so I guess what I'm trying to say is like MKP does it as well, where he compacts everything, so you get a lot of stuff, but he really goes crazy with his theming. But he's found a way to manage the part count so that you're getting a good frame rate, so that you can really appreciate the coasters and you can really soak it all up. So with that said, I think it would be good to either, you know, focus on trying to compact all this in, because we do have a lot of space. It's tough. So you have to either reduce the part count. So, I mean, the custom supports really probably did a lot, as you guys mentioned, but trying to just compact it all together so that you reduce the amount of blueprints that you need to fill everything in between. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you know what this kind of looks like to me is that these weren't actually built in the park, a lot of them. They might have been brought in after. I don't know how you'd be able to smooth this out. Like, you bring them in and then landscape around them.
Yeah.
Because like they look like they're insanely smooth, but like I don't know anybody with a computer well enough to be able to work in this.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like, you have this like unlimited creativity, and you want to just keep building. You want to make these amazingly detailed areas, and you want to just keep going and going and going and going. But there comes a point where you got to tell yourself, I need to stop because I'm breaking that frame rate threshold, right? Mm-hmm. And so that. At that point, you kind of have to know when to call it quits and do those amazing coasters in a second park, right? Or because I mean, it's not so bad in pause mode, so maybe we should walk around in pause mode and then just ride the coaster.
That's way better.
Yeah.
Oh God, is that ever better?
This is so many.
Yeah, that last coaster, you really felt it, especially coming up to that second launch. It was hitching hard.
Yeah, and if that coaster was on its own in a coaster spotlight, it'd be such a great feature. Same with you know, like a lot of these, and that's why I think like if we cut the coasters in half, cut the park in half, you'd have two amazing parks, and then you could just really focus on the details a little bit more and bring everything together.
Sign.
Yeah, like the detailing is incredible. It's all going to the contour of the coaster, Thunderhead. I mean, a lot of the stuff is just amazing, and you know, the frame rate is part of your responsibility as well, right? It's like I could just build until the end of the world, but unless we're going to go into cheat engine, and, I mean, if you guys want to do cheat engine and send me the footage, because if I were to do cheat engine, it'd be like 10 hours to make this video, and I just don't have that time today, and we want to jump in and check these things out. We can't give everybody a cheat engine option, right? So I mean, if you want to do it yourself and do the cheat engine and send me the videos, I'll clip them in. Then it's tolerable, but. I think, you know, just knowing what the game's performance can handle and knowing when to stop and then building around that. And, you know, I think MKP has mastered it. And if you go look at his creations, a dozen coasters, 4 themed areas, he really shows that this game, you can have unlimited creativity and still run it well. So I think there's that management aspect that's part of the game in terms of the frame count, and that's one thing that we need to consider when we're building our parks, right?
Yep.
Cool. I mean, I guess that's another thing about using other people's blueprints as well, is you're not really able to manage the piece count very.
And you're just throwing stuff in and, you know, bogging it down more and more. And in some cases, like, I almost want to just delete everything and ride the coasters. You know, delete everything that's not themed on the coasters, right? Like, keep the theming on the coasters, and then that way we could just get like a good solid 30, 40, 50 FPS on these coaster experiences. Because like, yes, it's nice to have a themed park, but if they're not your blueprints, they're not really contributing to what you've done anyways, right?
No, but
they're just kind of helping bring it all together, but also doing a disservice to what you've done.
Exactly. There's pros and cons with each situation, but at the end of the day, the coasters are the real hero of this park, and they're amazing so far. So, I don't know. Where do you balance it? And that's the question you need to ask yourself in order to get something where everyone can open it up and enjoy it on their own computers, but also we can make videos on it and, you know, get that amazing optimization. So that's my little side tangent, something to think about for you guys when you're making these mega parks. How big do you want to go? When are you going to stop? How many coasters are you going to get in? So our next coaster of the day, everybody, is Monarch, and we're dealing with a inverted 2-seater BOA. There's a look at the stats if you want to see them, and let's give it a go. right, great inverted coaster, low hanging, soaring all the way through. I love it. These again. I hope I didn't sound too harsh by that little rant that I went on, because these coasters are incredible, and I think this is the first time we've seen NeonFeather submit anything. I mean, he's advanced. I don't think I've featured him. I don't recognize the name. Do you guys?
I don't either. No.
I mean, looking at his workshop here, Calypso's Revenge seems familiar. Maybe
that does seem familiar. Actually,
Red Shift seems familiar, but I'm not certain. But yeah, NeonFeather really knows how to make good coasters, and that's I didn't want to sound too harsh by saying like, you need to manage your park count, because that's the engine's fault, not your fault. And I think, you know, coming up with that balance.
We love the coasters so much. It's a shame that we're not able to enjoy them how good they actually are.
Yeah, with that like 60 FPS, it's like each one of these would be just insane. So with that, I want to task NeonFeather to do a mini park with like 5 or 6 extremely good coasters, or compact it all and get like 12 into one area. But I want to see more from this creator, NeonFeather.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
All right, our next coaster, everybody, Dollywood's Thunderhead Wooden Gnarler. So this is a recreation coaster of Thunderhead from Dollywood. And here's a look at all the stats if you want to see them, and let's give it a go. Man, that is an awesome wooden coaster. I'm looking at the Google images right now, and it's almost a perfect match. Wow.
Okay, yeah, leave the stats up for a sec here. Biggest drop, 32 meters.
That's actually a perfect recreation right there.
So
in terms of layout,
he's got so close. So on the actual roller coaster, it's a 100-foot drop, and he had 100 feet or something. Track length he had off by like 50 feet. The time is damn near the same too. And the speed is like 3 miles per hour off. Like, that's solid.
The coaster is amazing.
Yeah, lots of fun.
Okay, we have another one. It's just one after the other. Good job to Zell. He picked this one out. And Elemental is the one that we featured yesterday. You guys would have saw. Synchros picked that one out. So you guys are picking some bangers. Bangerang!
Bangerang!
Wait, no, we rode this one. Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say, we rode this one.
It looks like frame rate is better, or is it just
no, like pause it again. Now it's better.
No,
yeah, it's going to be better because
nothing over here.
Yeah, whatever angle you're facing, it seems to help it. I mean, Planet Coaster is one of those weird things where it does render things. Like, in theory, if I were to like go to the edge of the park and look this way, I should get 60 FPS. Because it should never render anything that's behind you, but it only had 19 FPS, so it's still loading and everything and rendering it, but just it's really weird. It only gives you an extra 10 frames. So
I wonder if it's all the functions happening in the background, even though we're in pause mode.
It's the scripts or something attached to all the pieces and stuff. But they don't do any of the advanced culling. Like, for example, like if I'm standing in front of this pillar here, it should cull everything out behind it. Certain games do that so that it drops the polygons behind objects. Or if you're like behind terrain, the terrain should cull all the stuff that's behind it, so then it's no longer rendering it. And that's really what I think that Frontier needs to start looking into for like a Planet Coaster 2 is just advanced engine optimization, because even Unreal Engine can do some amazing things, and you're seeing a lot of developers go in that route where they're using these advanced technologies to really get like the most spectacular vistas and details into their games and into their engines. Even the Frostbite engine from EA is doing some incredible things like that, and you really got to start competing with that. Like if we're looking at this building here, we shouldn't be rendering. Well, there's nothing behind it, but you guys get my point.
Yeah.
So they need to start playing around with those things and look into that, because these builders.
With the Cobra?
No, absolutely not.
Well, yeah,
I don't really know anything about the Cobra engine.
By having these unoptimized way of building, it's like a lot of people, they don't have computers like what you have for this park is chugging on yours.
Yes, and that's exactly my point. There's what the creators are able to do is absolutely amazing, and they're being kind of pigeon-held, because let's just say this park here was still running at 60F by this point of the game. I'm sure that there's some engineers out there that could create engines advanced enough to hold this much stuff in at one time. So like looking at future engines in video game development, if this is possible to still run this at 60 FPS, you'd have creators such as NeonFeather, MKP. They would continue to push the envelope, and they would say, what else can I add to this? Let me let me get a giant flower bed right here. Like there's certain details in areas where they're just like, I can't build any more. Placing has become hard, so that they have to stop at some point. And I think if you had an engine that like allowed larger map sizes, more coasters, all that stuff, we would get these 1-to-1, like we've already seen it with like the Cedar Point recreation, 1-to-1, almost flawless, but like it barely fit in the park size, and it barely ran. So like I just imagine what people would do with Planet Coaster 2 if the engine could handle just a little bit more,
I worked on this park for 6 years. Here it is. Oh god. NeonFeather. Yeah. 3 years for this one, 6 years for the next.
Yeah. They would do it though. They would do it.
Yeah.
And I would check it out. All right, next coaster, everybody. Calypso's Revenge, a looping shuttle SLV. Here we go. Let's look at the stats here. Anything that stands out to you guys? Track like this super short. What do we have? A boomerang? Oh, it's
a boomerang. Yeah.
Super tiny. All right, let's just jump on. Blast off.
I think from the outside it looks super boring, but if you're riding it and then the water, comes running out of the tower, like as an experience, I think it would.
Oh
be
yeah, 100%.
amazing
I love the
in
fact
real
that it
life.
goes. The theming's really good, but the track layout's very basic. But
And
what's cool about this is it's actually not a traditional boomerang, and that's why I was confused. I was like, why is the track so short? Is because it's the loop. This is the drive tire launched coaster, but he brings it back into reverse launch, and that's where it stops. You don't see that from boomerangs, where the lift is only 10 meters off the ground or something, and then it drive tires forward, and then it goes up into a tower. But you can even see by the top there, there's no like cables holding it. There's no trim brakes or anything. It's actually a little sketchy because
Look how close that gets.
yeah, there's actually nothing stopping it from going off the track. He kind of like made it's a makeshift boomerang, which actually makes it more unique than it appears.
I like the queue as well.
I like that sign.
Yeah, there's a lot going into that.
It's a lot of ivy, but it looks really nice from the ground level.
Definitely, and a beautiful sign.
Yeah.
It's all made out of triangles. It's an interesting way to do it.
Isn't that made by?
Not sure. That looks phenomenal. You know what? This reminds me of Cohen's Pantoffel. He made a thing like it was probably like in the episode 100s or something for Coaster Spotlight. I remember something very similar to this. Definitely one from Kuhn.
Cohen.
It's pronounced Kuhn.
Cohen B?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was called, but let's check this thing out. It's got a bit of an Asian theme on there.
Yeah.
This one feels like
bolts.
Let's go to nighttime.
Yeah, why not?
See how long it took to switch to night? There it goes. He says. Yo. Outdoor chandeliers.
This is nice.
We went around the whole thing, and I don't know how to get in.
There's probably a way through a building, because it looks like it's like sunken into
This
the ground
building.
a bit.
You can see it right there.
Oh, that's for the
I think I'm just gonna have to do a little.
Flying City arm.
Want me to just break it? Oh, the coaster just goes through. All right.
Spoiler.
We're cheating.
There it is.
Holy moly.
I see it right there.
Oh, there you get it.
There we go.
The exit. That works.
That's the entrance.
Was that? Oh, it's closed. I just seen the red.
Right. Make your way through the railing maze.
Maze. Oh, what the?
What is that? That's where the frames are going.
Oh my god.
That is
There's a light
crazy.
show.
Oh, wow.
Oh, is that kaleidoscope? No.
We'll check that out in a second. Okay, our next coaster, everybody, is Horayu. And it is Typhoon Infinite.
How about you?
Let's look at all the stats here. 13 inversions. 5 airtime counts.
Look at the track length.
Oh my god. Another banger.
This one's gonna make me sick, I think, with the leg.
beautiful, so elegant and whimsical. Honestly thought the coaster was great up until the first lift. It didn't even need that whole second half, but why not?
Why not, right?
Holy moly.
Very smooth and very fun. I really like that. That music, I was just like chilling the whole time.
Yeah,
This is
definitely.
nice.
So chill. Very
Super
relaxed.
relaxed. Also like the lighting. I mean, it was just the red coaster with the
Yeah.
golden touch. It was really nice.
The Midas touch. The golden touch. Turns everything to gold.
The Midas touch.
Gold finger.
Red shift. Oh, I ruined the thing.
Yep.
Shit.
Well, we won't ride it now.
I recognize this. Or something similar to it.
Jay Leno's garage.
Okay. Did I make it up somehow?
Sure.
Yep, we're there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Red Shift. And this is a launch hydraulic sprint 500. Green across the board. It gets up to 113 miles per hour.
Well,
At
yeah, look at that
2,000
freaking...
meter. What?
Look at how high that
seconds,
goes.
so.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That is freaking wild. Wow.
Yeah, that was good. I love that one.
Well, that's fun.
Whew. How many coasters do we have? I mean, we've been recording for 47 minutes, and I still feel like there's
boy.
like 10 more coasters.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's
at
like a
that
bit of a
ride skin.
Star Wars theme going here. Ride skin. Oh wow.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Oh, it's by X Perez,
Expirez.
I think.
You got wooden coaster.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Star Wars. There's a freaking X-wing right there.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Soleil.
Whoa. Hey, this is a nice little back area. Cute.
Yeah.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have Soleil, the wooden monster. Here's a look at all the, another 18. These are all exploration coasters, man. Holy crap. Like, you should just build one coaster in a park and submit that.
Look at the airtime count as well.
Wow. 11. 6 seconds of airtime. Jeez.
Jeez, that's huge.
So she said. Wiggly Moogly. I was scared I spoke too soon for a second. I'm like, are we going on another 2-minute adventure? Is this just another lift?
Yeah, right.
Wow, look at that.
That one was a ton of fun.
Definitely. Yeah. My goodness. And the theming's really great on all these coasters.
Yeah.
Like I said,
it just says in the word, like all these buildings around Soleil are from the workshop.
Okay.
Just so you know. Yeah, but yeah.
Cool. But to touch on it one more time, NeonFeather. I think, you know, like if you just put this into a park and submitted that, it'd be a great coaster spotlight. Same with that, you know, all of these.
Oh, there we go.
I mean, maybe not something like this that needs to be more integrated into a park, but you know, you don't have to spend 3 years on a project and submit that all at once. I mean, definitely an epic hour-long episode, but just saying, if you want to get featured again and show off some more of your amazing work, build us an awesome coaster, maybe partake in the next upcoming contest we got going here, and yeah, just submit something small because you do some amazing coasters, great theming, and yes. I feel like something like this you could bang out quite quickly with your experience. So love to see more from you.
Yeah, what I'm liking about these roller coasters, they have like a lot of realist touches to them, but they're not being held back by realism totally.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Prototype 553 for a launched torque coaster. Here's a look at all the stats, everyone. At 1,600 meters in length again.
Why not?
Average speed's only 31 miles per hour. Seems strange for a launch. Let's find out. You know what you said there with the realism, I feel like some of this was this might have been slightly inspired by the Maverick coaster with the launch up, the straight launch after. It's like the layout's kind of similar, but just a little bit more extreme with some like taking that theming to the next level.
But we should have done this one at night.
I feel like I was gonna say that too.
Yeah,
should have been.
I really like the theme on this one. It's kind of got like a futuristic thing, but it's done in a desert theme, sort of. I don't know. It's really cool.
It changes during the day and night. It's a bit of a rainbow road.
That tunnel with the lights.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Underneath the station.
Yeah, it's. I don't know where that. Oh, right there. Yeah.
And I think the Maverick does that too, doesn't it? Passes underneath, or close to. Yeah, I think so.
I always like it.
Someone in the comments will know.
People do that. Over the boarding station or underneath. It's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, over for track layout and stuff, I think I'm liking that one the most right now. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it was really intertwined, and the way it interacted with that environment was amazing. It was like an oasis. Lots of caves and waterfalls, and It's really cool stuff.
Super smooth and just never ending back to back coaster elements.
Just
Really fun.
Yeah, one transition
also-
into the next. It's amazing.
Another example of how to do red rock well.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Good point. Yeah.
And it's nice to, the sand is peeking out. It's not all just a rock, right? It's like
Yeah,
super well
definitely.
constructed. Take notes if you want to do something with rocks.
We went on that one, and
We
Well,
didn't do
I-
the one in the
I
middle.
deleted the light show. I should check this out.
I'm
real
almost
quick.
certain that's by Tech Jacks.
Probably. I know we've seen some cool light shows. I don't know.
He
if
did
this
like a
is the
Pink
one.
Floyd inspired one. I know
Yeah,
that.
it was more of a dome though, not a.
Yeah.
Do we have to like
Doesn't-
test the ride to make it work or something? Because I don't see.
What about in the?
Oh my god.
Is there anything in his
So
workshop
laggy
about
over
who made this or? where it is?
No, I only see Kaleidoscope as a light show.
What about? Oh, right in there, right in that little
There's one.
shack that overlooks the ride. Yeah.
Jeez. Which one?
I'm gonna guess the one by itself. There we go.
Get the ride in there. I almost feel like we need to go on the ride when this is happening.
Fireworks.
I feel like we'd be missing half of it if we did.
My goodness. People are insane with these things.
Yeah.
The way those all line up and oh wow.
Not that I'm saying this is easy, but I mean, really, you're making one and duplicating the sequence.
I still, it's beyond me.
Yeah, it's definitely still not easy. Yeah.
I mean, like, I understand how to do it. I'm just not patient enough to even bother.
Yeah, and you know what? And the tool for sequencing things is not very good in this game. Like, they don't have a proper timeline or anything, so...
I think that's it. Holy moly, that is so many lights.
Still great.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We are going to delete it again in case we have anything else to look at.
The one in the middle, the big one in the hole on the right, like the red one. Right.
That was the Asian one, wasn't it?
No, there's another one.
No.
The Asian is to the left of that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I was looking at that, I'm like, did we... Oh, that's an X dimension. I think, is that the last one?
You got to get down here with a chairlift. This
That's
might
great.
be the last one. We'll do a double check around. Oh my goodness. I don't know left from right here. Okay.
Sure. This works.
Yep. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The RURSUS X Dimension Pilot. Let's give it a go. so extreme. What did you guys think? I want to get your thoughts before I say anything.
There was a lot of good elements. The way, like when you come up those really big loops and you're kind of facing, he did those really well. But it kind of got a little bit chaotic near the end. It was hard to tell with the lag, but it just felt like it was a little too much. And I think it probably could have ended before that second.
Yeah.
I was gonna say upload this as a park, just this coaster, right? And then I think we can really see what it does.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it pretty okay from my end. My thoughts on this was like the control is really good, but then it was like you were having too much fun with the X Dimension features. You're like, it was like, okay, we're rotating back to look at the track, perfect, like just lined it up. But let me throw in an extra rotation and whip us around. And it was like, no, like it just needed to stop there. It's
sometimes it is hard with that one because I mean sometimes you got to reset the rotation to get it to where you want it on the next one. But
yeah, I definitely know it's difficult, but you could see where like there's certain points where we drop down and we're like, okay, we're looking at the track, that's perfect, but it's like, let me throw in another 360. And
the main elements, the setup was good, but the setup to get to that element wasn't the best.
It just, I just felt like every time it was like, stop it there, that's perfect. It was one of those less is more things, but it was just kept on going more and more and more. Yeah. And I was like, that's an extra rotation that wasn't needed there. But like the way we kept on switching around to like fishtail and look at the coaster behind us, and then it would switch us forward. It was really great. The transitions were great, but I just felt like there was an extra one in between every single one of those that wasn't necessary. And usually the feedback that I give with these ones is you're not spending enough time looking at the coaster, you're not doing enough rotations, and but in this case it was too many in my opinion.
Yeah, especially near the end there when it got really twisty and stuff, you're back and forth. It felt like it was getting whipped around pretty hard.
But with that said, you definitely didn't hold back in using the features of the X Dimension. So like you definitely had fun with it and you went to town, and it was a little excessive on the rotations, but it's better than it being underwhelming. So
yes,
it's definitely extreme.
And I gotta say that the whole setting as well in the pit, the scenery, it's
lighting,
great.
yeah,
it looks very nice.
Yeah, I'm glad we picked that one at night actually.
So there was supposed to be 2 Dollywood recreations. What was the second one? Because it was the
it was the
Thunderhead,
and oh no, it was Monarch. Yeah, there on the bottom right. Yeah, I think it was.
Okay, and he stuck them close together, so that makes sense.
Yeah,
Monarch. Yeah.
Did we ride on the green one?
I don't remember.
I don't think so.
It's been kind of coaster overload, so honestly, it seems like quite a while since we even rode the first one.
It's been an hour.
Have we ridden this one?
No.
This one?
Yeah.
No, we haven't.
Oh, you're right. Okay, let's shortcut it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We got 10 minutes, guys.
For our last and final coaster.
I feel like we came up here.
I kind of. Well, I don't know, let's click
not.
on it and see if the name rings a bell.
Yeah, if not, it's our last and final coaster. And we have DRACONIKA! Floorless Werewolf. 1,700 meters length. I didn't expect anything else, of course. I feel like this one's going to be another night timer.
Yeah.
DRACONIKA. Honestly, all of these coasters look like they'd ride well at night. So if you want to ride them, links are down in the description. Geez, that was quite the experience.
Yeah.
That's like
Definitely.
a dark ride coaster. Man, that is so much fun. The
Amazing.
lighting is amazing.
Yeah, but everything, it was like a story as well throughout with this thing, just kept on roaring and fire.
The Draconica.
Lovely.
Wow. Okay, so we got to wrap things up with our final thoughts. We were supposed to pick he wants us to pick our favorite coaster. There's 3 of us, so we're going to pick 3 of our favorite coasters. But before we do that,
Oh, boy.
I want to talk about the overall park in a second. I mean, we already touched on it a little bit in terms of optimization and blah, 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 blah. But with that out of the way, I do think that the hero in this one is the coasters. And when you're on the coasters and in the themed areas of the coasters, they're really well done. But the transitions between, like, the theming of the park is very odd. I don't know, like it's not like I mean, like the integration of the coasters is there, but then like the park itself around the coaster is kind of non-existent. It's a bunch of coasters placed together and jigsawed back together, and what you end up getting is like you end up getting some weird things with some scraggly cues, like up that, you know, it's like the sandbox play mode that you would expect from somebody just kind of like playing scenario mode or, you know, campaign mode. Like I'm gonna wiggle this in here and run a queue and slap a ride there in the corner. You know, there's some odd elements there that aren't. It's more like play mode rather than theme park mode. And does that make sense? It's each.
Yeah, it's more towards the end. At the beginning, not so much actually. The beginning of the park.
Yeah, it's
more towards the
integrated
end.
pretty good all over here, isn't it?
When the frame rates were good.
Yeah, and you could tell. And honestly, with that said, like I think your park almost should have ended here, right? And then that would have been an amazing project with tons of coasters.
Yeah, for sure it would
and
have been.
then you could have jigsawed all these into an entirely new park. I almost feel like these actually kind of have some similar theming between them, and you know, you could have had like a little bit of a desert area with that, and then you had like your high industrial area. So I would definitely think about that going into your future ones, NeonFeather, just so we can get that optimization in, because these coasters are phenomenal, and I think we've praised a lot of it so far.
Literally every coaster in this. I think the only thing we actually had like a little bit of feedback back about was the X dimension. Otherwise, but that was like minimal.
Yes, 100%.
But I don't think everything else was phenomenal.
I
It was amazing.
don't think there was a bad coaster in this park.
No.
I was there. It was the kiddie coaster. No. Yeah, I even thought the kiddie coaster was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, everything was like even in this really terrible FPS, you could tell all these coasters had a ton of effort into the smoothing. The transitions were all really nice. Banking was there.
And with that said, we want to see NeonFeather do a smaller 2-month project, not a 3-year project, and see what you can come up with when you focus and give yourself this much room to build, or participate in the contest that we're going to be launching here. If it's not out by now, it'll be out soon, so keep an eye on for that, because yeah, like you definitely have an eye for coasters and big epic designs, and it's really quite phenomenal. So
I think one thing I can say too is if you ever submit a blue, we'll probably be fighting to look at it, all of us. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
No, we definitely got you on our radar now, and we want to see more from you. And with that said, I think we could even bump up your rank. What do we have him at here? Apply for the workshop review. We'll take a closer look, but it says he's advanced. He's beyond that, in my opinion.
Yes.
And yeah, so we have to pick our favorite coaster. Who wants to go first?
Ooh.
Paper, rock, scissors. Synchros.
I'm
3,
torn.
2,
I'm
1.
torn between the hybrid and the torque launch. Where was the torque? I think it's over here. So that's the hybrid.
That's the
And
wood.
that was the hybrid, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, you're right.
And then the torque launch was that kind of green one in the red rock. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go with the hybrid. I love my hybrid. Those are the ones I look forward to most in the theme park, and I thought this one was really well done.
Soleil. Zelixor?
Soleil. Yeah, Star Wars one.
Ooh, I am gonna go because I think it's the banger of the park. I'm gonna go with the first coaster. With the flight of the Kestrel.
Yeah.
I love the
that
coaster
one-
is no, I know, but the
Yeah.
buildings, it's go through the
experience.
whole park. It's an eye catcher. Yeah, it's an experience. I love it.
It literally covers half the map.
Yeah, it is the park. Like that's the border. Is that roller coaster for sure?
Yeah.
And the experience was amazing. So
That was gonna be my pick, but since you took it, I'm gonna have to pick a different one. And so my second favorite, honestly, I'll probably go with the
Maverick-ish one.
Yeah, the Prototype 5534. It was pretty dope.
Yeah, that one was fun.
3 launches on it, 1 underground, some neon lighting. Quite the experience. From one transition into the other, just all tightly woven. I mean, a marvelous design on that.
Yeah, that one was my second favorite. So
I also really like this launch one. The red shift was pretty dope.
Yeah, it was good.
I mean, they were
all of them were amazing.
They were all so good. All right, absolutely amazing. What was your favorite coaster and why? Leave your comments down below. I'd love to read your guys' comments. There's so many great coasters in here. It's hard to wind it all back, and you know, if I had to like line them up in an order of which I thought was the best, it'd be really hard. They're all up there. Top-notch quality coasters. Very fun theme park. Yeah, the only downside was the frame rate. So NeonFeather, show us what you can do on a smaller scale so we can showcase your stuff, and it'll do you good in the long run because you won't have to spend 3 years on something to, you know, showcase something really amazing. So, you know, try something a little bit smaller, or just do a singular coaster blueprint, you know, because I'm sure
I would love to see a blueprint.
Yeah,
sure.
A 4K singular blueprint would be amazing from you. All right, and with that said, everybody, that's going to do it for us here today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more daily Planet Coaster videos. If you want to support the show further, check out my Patreon page. And thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye now.
Bye now.